Caitlin Clark's the new it. If you don't have a long ball, talking about the 26, 30 feet, if you ain't doing the Steph Curry, if you ain't got none of that long ball in your game, yeah, you're going to be behind.
She's doing stuff we've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis. There's a lot of girls in WNBA that have done it in spurts, but that game I'm watching y'all in the Final Four, I'm like, damn, and I was a hater because, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam, like, damn.
Anyone who follows basketball closely already knows that Caitlin Clark is nothing short of a supernova, completely changing how the women's game is viewed around the world. NBA legends and icons, players who understand the game inside and out, have been left genuinely stunned by her brilliance. The excitement surrounding the WNBA has reached entirely new heights thanks to Caitlin's style of play, her confidence, and her massive popularity. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. The greatest of them all, Michael Jordan, has finally broken his silence. MJ's comments about Caitlin Clark instantly shifted the conversation, and his praise carried enormous weight. When someone like Jordan speaks, the basketball world listens. His words about Caitlin were nothing short of extraordinary and instantly validated what fans have been saying all along. And he wasn't the only legend stepping up. NBA legend Rick Barry didn't hold back either. In a powerful and direct statement, Barry defended Caitlin Clark, making it clear that the constant hate she's received from certain WNBA players comes from jealousy and fear of her undeniable talent. His words hit hard and put her critics firmly in their place. What Barry said is something every Caitlin Clark doubter needs to hear, because it clearly explains why she has earned every ounce of respect coming her way.
I think it's reprehensible what they're allowing some of these players. Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing that.
WNBA great George Gervin also stepped forward to defend Caitlin Clark, and his words carried just as much impact. Gervin didn't shy away from calling out the clear disrespect surrounding Caitlin's treatment. He made it clear that her talent is something that should be celebrated, not torn down or minimized. His statement immediately grabbed attention and sent a strong message to anyone still doubting her. Caitlin Clark's greatness isn't a temporary moment or a media creation. It's real, it's proven, and it's here to stay. When legends who shaped the game themselves speak up in her defense, it only reinforces the idea that Caitlin Clark belongs among the elite.
They don't know the value that she's bringing for all of them. She bringing, they flying private planes now. They weren't flying private before she came. They on major networks now. They weren't doing that. She remind me of Tiger Woods for golf.
Yeah.
Often, the most honest opinions come from players who don't live in the media spotlight, and that's exactly why we start with a former NBA player who isn't constantly on television. Jeff Teague may not have been a media darling during his career, but his resume speaks for itself. He was a quality starter for most of his 12 NBA seasons, earned a spot as a one-time All-Star, and won an NBA championship ring. He was never marketed as a superstar, which gives his words even more credibility. Now retired, Teague felt free to openly criticize the WNBA for how Caitlin Clark was treated upon entering the league, especially considering she arrived with one of the largest fan bases women's basketball has ever seen.
Like, they played this all wrong, bro.
Terribly, bro.
They was supposed to gas this shit. This is why people don't watch this shit when y'all leave college. Women's sports, because y'all hating on the best thing that's going to happen to the W.
While some may say Teague's delivery was raw, the core message he delivered was extremely reasonable. After years of heated debates about the gender pay gap in sports and countless failed attempts to raise the visibility of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark's arrival finally moved the needle in a real way. She brought attention, revenue, and global interest almost overnight. Yet despite that, she still received a rough and hostile welcome. Teague pointed out that this attitude doesn't just hurt Caitlin, it actively damages the league financially. He made it clear that she deserves far better treatment from both her peers and league leadership. Speaking of poor treatment, Celtics legend Paul Pierce also played a role in shaping early media negativity toward Clark. The 10-time All-Star publicly doubted Caitlin early in the season and even sparked racial controversy with his comments about the Indiana Fever rookie. Since then, Pierce has tried to distance himself from that noise and has slowly begun showing reluctant respect for Clark. This is what he had to say after Caitlin was left off the U.S. Olympic team.
You claim you want the women's game to grow, and then you keep the most popular girl in women's basketball off the team. How do you grow internationally and domestically if you don't put her on the U.S. team? It just makes the most sense. Sometimes you have to say, hey guys, this is bigger than the game, which it is. I mean, women's basketball is at an all-time high because of Caitlin Clark.
On the surface, Paul Pierce's take sounded respectful, but when you dig deeper into his logic, it becomes clear that he still isn't fully sold on Caitlin Clark's basketball ability. Pierce suggested that Clark should have been included on the Olympic roster primarily to grow the popularity of the sport, while subtly implying she didn't earn the spot purely on merit. Of course, Pierce has always been one of the most provocative former players turned commentators, so his opinions often come with an agenda. Sometimes it feels like he's chasing relevance more than delivering analysis. Just when it seemed like the drama surrounding Caitlin Clark couldn't get any bigger, Shaquille O'Neal dropped a bombshell on Angel Reese's podcast. Shaq held absolutely nothing back as he praised Caitlin Clark right in front of one of her most vocal critics. It was a jaw-dropping moment. An NBA legend defending Caitlin in the most unexpected setting possible. His message was crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is special, and even her harshest critics can't deny it.
I was a hater because, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam. Like, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth. So I'm telling you now, if you just lower it, like...
Missing out on the biggest sports event of the year may have hurt Caitlin Clark on a personal level, but according to NBA legend Dwight Howard, it may have actually been a blessing in disguise. The three-time Defensive Player of the Year believed Caitlin could use that time to sharpen her skills and dominate the second half of the season, which is exactly what ended up happening. Looking back, Howard's comments sound almost prophetic. He acknowledged that while Caitlin is a great player, there are others who may have had a slight edge in Olympic readiness. But instead of seeing that as rejection, Howard viewed it as motivation. He believed the time off should push her harder in the gym, improve her conditioning, and fuel her competitive fire. After the Olympic break, Caitlin Clark looked noticeably different on the court. Whether the omission directly fueled her intensity or not, she clearly found her rhythm. Traveling overseas and potentially sitting on the bench for a loaded roster could have disrupted her flow or even risked injury. Dwight Howard saw opportunity where others only saw disrespect, and he understood that a player of Clark's caliber would capitalize on it.
She is a great player, but it's a lot of players that, no lie, who, as far as basketball-wise, they have the edge over her of why they should be playing in the Olympics right now. Mind you, this should motivate her. This should make her go harder in the gym. The 3 weeks that they off, she should get in better.
With Caitlin Clark, you always have to look at the big picture. Hall of Fame point guard Isaiah Thomas has always been known for understanding every angle of the game, both on and off the court. After his legendary playing career, which included back-to-back NBA championships with the Detroit Pistons, Thomas went on to serve as both a coach and executive. When asked about Caitlin Clark, his take was largely positive, but included a subtle twist. In one smooth statement, Thomas managed to compliment Caitlin, acknowledge the competitive landscape, and quietly expose the business-driven motives behind much of the hate directed toward her. He pointed out that controversy attracts attention, and attacking Caitlin from all sides created media buzz when she first entered the league. Isaiah clearly understands what's happening, but refuses to feed into the drama himself.
I think it's great what she's done, and I think it's great what the media and the WNBA and marketing and the players are doing because, controversy is not good, but, controversy said.
Caitlin Clark has quickly gained grassroots support from Indianapolis fans, but she still hasn't reached the level of local love enjoyed by some Indiana legends of the past. At the very top of that list is Reggie Miller, the elite three-point shooter and ruthless competitor who spent all 18 of his NBA seasons wearing a Pacers jersey. You might expect Miller to fully embrace Caitlin as the new face of Indiana basketball, but instead he took a tougher stance. Miller emphasized that every rookie must learn how to deal with adversity and competition. While his old-school mindset comes from an era where physical play was the norm, Caitlin's situation goes beyond simple competitiveness. She isn't just earning respect through play, she's fighting against unnecessary hostility. The resistance she's faced feels less like healthy competition and more like an attempt to push her down before she fully rises.
What did you expect was going to happen to her? Number one, I don't think it's jealousy. Oh my God, she's getting all the endorsements. We're going to go after her. You're playing at the highest level. You're playing in the WNBA. You're coming from college and you're going to the pro ranks, right? What did she expect was going to happen? Why are people so shocked, right? You're playing against grown women. The same thing happened to us.
Magic Johnson, who is deeply involved in women's basketball as a part owner of the Los Angeles Sparks, has been closely watching everything unfold. As a 5-time NBA champion and one of the greatest point guards ever, Magic offered a thoughtful and balanced analysis of Caitlin Clark's role in the league. Interestingly, he compared today's young WNBA stars to his legendary rivalry with Larry Bird, which helped revive the NBA decades ago. Magic preached patience, explaining that young stars need support from teammates and organizations to truly reach their potential. As expected, he praised everyone without diving into the uglier side of the debate. Still, his respect for Caitlin Clark was clear. Even NBA legends with ties to rival teams recognize her greatness. That classy approach contrasts sharply with someone like Charles Barkley, a former physical enforcer turned outspoken commentator. Barkley has discussed Caitlin multiple times and, while mostly supportive, often brings his trademark bluntness. In one notable clip, he even broke down how Caitlin's shooting form evolved over the season, proving that even the loudest voices in sports media can't ignore her impact.
Now, Caitlin, her teammates got to come to her defense.
Sure.
You can't allow her to have to fight every battle, right? But we have to understand that both Caitlin, Angel, and Rink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better. And they're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time. Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best.